If your black line is either at the same place or lower than the gray line, I'm going to tell you, you're not getting any views. You're also not getting any inquiries, and you're not getting any bookings, and you ain't making any money. So the algorithm is now focused on guest experience. And with guest experience, with that algorithm changing the way it changed so quickly, and they didn't tell anyone, like I only know this because of all the listings that I have and all the listings that all my students, the tens of thousands of listings that we all have throughout the world. Like I know what these changes have been because we've masterminded about it. So in any case, to put it in a little small package for you, their algorithm changes have been so that they can focus on what the guest experience is. And when most people who are not professional hosts and they're just putting stuff on Airbnb and don't really understand how to play the game with Airbnb to satisfy what their biggest thing is, their biggest desire, which is to have a platform that people love. And so they don't know how to optimize their listings, and they're just modeling the next guy who's also doing it wrong. Now, when we talk about the guest-friendly algorithm and platform, here's a few things that I'm going to just share with you that will help your listings tremendously. If you do this, then you're going to see a huge bump in your views. You're going to see a huge bump in your inquiries. You're going to see a huge bump in your bookings, and you're going to see a huge bump in your revenue that's coming through when Airbnb is making those electronic funds transfers in your account. Right? So, a couple things. First things first. Inside of Insights, so inside the Airbnb platform, when you look at your insights, they have all these opportunities inside of Insights. Those opportunities are what Airbnb is optimizing for. Those opportunities. And when you go into those opportunities, you look, you'll see, do you have an iron? Do you have a stove? Do you have cooking utensils? Are you letting your guests, are you meeting your guests? Do they have instant booking on? Like, be able to book your stuff easy, and when they get there, are they being well taken care of? Hair dryers, those types of things. When you go into Insights, you should be at least 50% or more on 90% of those insights. So there are some things, like for us, we don't do pets. So we're at 3% on pets. I don't even know why we're at 3%. It should be 1% because we don't do pets. However, maybe we're at 3% because if it's a service animal, which we still vet and make sure, then we allow it. But maybe that's why it's at 3%, but we don't do pets, right? But everything else, most other probably 95% of our opportunities are checked and above 50%. You want to get as close to 100% as possible. If you just do that thing right there, just do that, you're going to see your inquiries, your views go way up. Oh, let me pause. When you also go and you look, and you'll see where it says views, and inside of views, you're going to see where it also says your views compared to similar listings. There's a black line and a gray line. The black line on the chart will show your views. The gray line, it's a gray dotted line on the chart that'll show all other listings like yours. If your black line is either at the same place or lower than the gray line, I'm going to tell you, you're not getting any views. You're also not getting any inquiries, and you're not getting any bookings, and you ain't making any money. Like that right there, you should be looking at your views compared to all others. Our views are typically 200 to 300 times greater than all other listings that are similar to ours in any area that we're in, right? It's the same thing with my students, the same way. if it's 200 to 300 times greater, then that's because you optimize your listings properly. When you optimize them properly, you're getting people seeing your listings all over the place. They're seeing it on the internet when they're doing a search for, doesn't even have to be an Airbnb search. They may be just searching for one of the local landmarks in the area of your Airbnb. When you optimize your listings properly, your listing's gonna pop up. And what do? Boom, they click, right? When they click it, now you just got a view. Guess what? The reason why Google, Facebook, YouTube are the most profitable, wealthiest companies in the world is because that algorithm, that artificial intelligence, it knows what you want to do more than what you know what you want to do when you're on those platforms. Well, Airbnb does the same thing. So it grabs that data and it's using it and it sends them information so that you don't have to market these things. It could do it way better than us. And so it's sending all these things out for people all over the world, not just in your little area, right? We don't even do locals. So we don't even host people that are local that want to stay in our place. It's not something we allow. So we're not marketing. It's a worldwide platform. We're attracting people from all over the world. That's what we're counting on. And when you optimize properly, Airbnb is going to do that for you. So your views, when you optimize properly, your views are going to be 200 to 300 times greater than all other Airbnb hosts because they don't know how to do this stuff. They don't understand what I just told you. When your views are that much greater, then what happens? Your inquiries should also be that much greater. Now, here's another tip I'm going to give you. When Airbnb, when we were in COVID in 2020, when it hit in March of 2020, I mean, it hit sooner, but that's when it got serious and they shut the world down. That weekend, March 2020, that weekend, it was mid-month. I think it was like the 13th or 14th, 15th. That weekend, Airbnb revenue for everyone, it went from wherever they were to zero. Why? Because Airbnb put this thing out where they said anyone that's traveling, because we know you can't travel anymore, if you want a refund, regardless of what a host refund policy is, if you request a refund for any reason related to COVID, we're going to give it back to you. And they put it on the front page of their website. You know what everybody started doing? Refund, 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 refund. It was like the stock market crash in the early 1900s. It was nuts. I don't think people were jumping out of windows, but I'm sure they wanted to because they went to zero. We lost that weekend. I think we lost like $20,000 that weekend, Saturday, Sunday. However, on Monday, we got more than half of that back. And then throughout the week, we got the rest back. One of the things is because our model is out-of-town business travelers. That's our bread and butter. But this is the key I want you to know. When people begin to inquire, you need to respond quickly. I'm not talking about 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Respond quickly. If the first person that responds to that inquiry has the greatest chance of getting that interested guest into their place, hosting that interested guest. You're going to be able to communicate with them. You're going to be able to understand why they're there. You're going to be able to answer their questions, making sure, again, once you understand what they're there for, answer their questions and ensure that help give them the assurance that your place is the perfect place for them. And guess what? You're the perfect host that's going to take care of them. When you do that part, well, so now your views went up, your inquiries went up, because that's the natural. Right? If you did your listing properly when you listed it, they're going to look at your stuff and they're going to say, wow, this is nice. Right? Then they're going to inquire, as long as your pricing is proper too, they're going to inquire. And then when you respond quickly to the inquiry, now your chance of getting that inquiry to turn into a booking goes way up. Like you have more than a 70% chance of getting that inquiry because you were the first one to respond if you respond quickly and properly. And then if you got a 70% chance and you're getting more inquiries because you're getting more views than everyone else, then your revenue is also going to go up. And that's the reason why we're always in the top 1% in the world of all Airbnb income earners, right? Because we do those things properly. And then all you got to do is just make sure once they get there, you do what you say you're going to do. You do what you say you're going to do. They're going to give you a great review. Airbnb is going to love you. They're going to send more people back to you. They're going to refer, meaning the guests. They'll come back. We have so many repeat guests. They'll tell others about you. But here's the bigger thing. They're going to tell Airbnb that they loved you. Airbnb, remember, that's how we started. They're a guest experience, a guest friendly algorithm. And because of that algorithm, now they're like, you are the one who knows how to play the game. You understand what Airbnb wants. You understand what their biggest desire is. And now they consider you a partner. So what are they going to do? Reward you and send out your listings to more and more and more people. That's it. That's what Google does. That's what YouTube does. That's what Facebook does. When you understand how to play the game, understand what the desire for their platform is, and the thing you do on their platform helps them to do that better, they're going to reward you with more traffic. That's what they do. So hopefully that was helpful, because I'm here to tell you, like, Airbnb is amazing. I mean, they're not the only platform. We use multiple platforms as we've grown. We use Verbal. We use Booking.com. We use Peerspace. We use Furnish Finders, right? We use multiple platforms because, remember, it's attracting people from all over the world. It ain't about the locals.